waiting for some breathtaking technology or some big reveals about high-tech wizardry, you're going to be disappointed, because Kitsap EFile is not rocket science. The best way to think of Kitsap EFile is a super-duper messenger service with really great customer service. We have some really great features that we want to share with people who need to file documents and do business with the courthouse, and that's our focus. We're not here to reinvent any wheels or do anything except save people time and money when they need to file documents. So what is e-filing? We've been hearing about this for years and years and years. People say, we want e-filing, what is e-filing? We'll stipulate for the purpose of our immediate discussion that it has two characteristics. You can submit your documents electronically, and you can receive a confirmation electronically, such that in today's modern COVID world, we would call that a contact-free system. When we were thinking about this before the COVID era, of course, we were thinking about terms of time, convenience, and now there's another benefit of having e-filing as soon as possible that is at the top of some people's minds. But the Kitsap last mile challenge can be hard to solve. The courthouse is not ready to make drastic improvements. They have a lot of modernization that they need to undertake, and you know, honestly, it's not fair to put the pressure on them to solve years and years of accumulated problems. So we have to work with the courthouse and the clerk and what they have available when we create our solution. So what do we have? Two last mile options are paper and fax. Fax is expensive and cumbersome. Need not say anything more about that. And it's only available to WSBA. So it really limits who can use that solution. Paper filings are free, of course, but not without cost. A lot of people are doing their business on Zoom and doing remote hearings and not the courthouse very often anymore. So for many people, it means a trip to Port Orchard. These are the one-way times from Google. I didn't measure them myself. You can take it with a grain of salt. Find a place to park, mask up, join the line at the security checkpoint, get your stuff scanned, take your paper upstairs and wait in line again. If the clerk is closed, you can come back another time, or you can leave your stuff on an unattended cart. So this is today's experience for customers who need to file at the courthouse. There are two last mile options. This has been fine with everybody for years and years. And the question is, how can eager customers who want to reduce their courthouse visits and enjoy the benefits of electronic filing while awaiting changes at the courthouse, can we do something to help those folks? Can we help them have a great experience today and not interfere with things going on at the courthouse that may influence options that are available tomorrow? I think we have a solution here. The simplest thing to do is just walk through this explainer diagram and explain exactly how Kitsap EFile works. After that, we'll go to a demo and you can see for yourself how we do the document management. But customer uploads their filing for any Superior Court department. We keep that in our secure cloud storage. And a couple times a day, we do a quality check on those, make sure that they look great and that everything's there and that your stuff that should be confidential is stamped, sealed on the top, and all the things you would do yourself to make sure you have a great filing experience and that you don't get dinged for that insufficient filing fee. Then we, a couple times a day, somebody walks up, block up the hill to the office and files your matter traditionally at the clerk's office. No surprises there. Same way that you do it yourself. In the third step, if you have a bench copy, our agent will go down, put that bench copy in the chunk machine and leave a copy there with the admin. And then we take photos of the conformed pages and we update those to the cloud as well. So that in number 4, our happy customer will get thumbs up and they'll get an e-receipt and it'll have all the details of the filing and it'll have pictures of the conformed pages, which means that you can share those immediately with either a client or the other party, or you can just feel good that night going to bed knowing that your documents made it to the right place. If you look at it right in the center of the donut, the beautiful thing is that we work completely around the procedures at the courthouse. We ask for no changes at the courthouse. The fact is that our system is compatible with the courthouse's current way of accepting documents. And as that changes in the future, our methods will also adapt those new methods so that the people from using Kitsap EFile will benefit from the changes today and tomorrow without having to learn new systems. The most important thing to me and why we did this as quickly as we did is that those of us who have friends and loved ones who have to visit the courthouse on a regular basis would like to do everything we can to immediately reduce the need to visit the courthouse. From memos from the bench in the courthouse have told us their challenges implementing social distancing in the hallways of that ancient facility. And we need to do everything we can to decrease the need for people to visit that facility, put load on its systems, create lines at the counters, and reduce the opportunity for another incident to happen in Kitsap County that could impact our facilities. So in addition to saving time, gas, money, and convenience, you're also supporting the courthouse's efforts to improve social distancing, and you're making yourself and your firm more resilient to future disruptions, which might include new public health emergencies, civil unrest, and facility closures. The clerk is the best decider of when the clerk's office should be open. And this allows you to have some isolation from whether the clerk's office operating hours meet your convenient schedule. By filing with Kitsap EFile, we can work with the clerk's schedule and make sure that your documents get there on time, regardless of what changes to the schedule might take place. I feel that by being an effective partner with the folks at the courthouse and the filing community, we could encourage people to give this system a try, and if it meets their needs, it does have the potential to deliver immediate benefits. I'd be happy to take your questions. If there are no immediate questions, we could go through a demo and then ask for questions again at the end of that. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Cool. Let me see if I can stop this crazy machine and come back, say hello to you. Now I'm going to switch over to a web browser, and while I'm getting ready to go there, I'll just make a few comments that the Kitsap EFile system, the way that it sits today, it kind of works like a bus pass. If you want to ride the bus and you get on the bus, you can put the money in the slot and ride the bus one time. But if you're a frequent user, you can buy a bus pass and ride it all you want for an entire month. And in a future state, what we hope to do is, I've been thinking a lot about some of the ideas that the technical committee, and in particular Neil, had regarding some services that could help a firm work together as a team and to implement document filing portal for a firm that give them the opportunity to work together and collaborate from their remote locations. Again, giving you a little more independence from facility disruptions and other workplace disorders. So let me switch over without further ado to my browser here, and we'll take a look at Kitsap EFile. So if you visit kitsapefile.com, you can use any browser or even a smartphone. Any device will work from anywhere you are. If you're ready to file, I'm just going to do a real simple simulated filing right now and show you. Okay, I'm seeing some individuals who say that they're muted. I think I'm on.
Yep.
How's that? Okay, I think I unmuted all. Thanks a lot for letting me know. If anyone else has any trouble, waving a sign is a great way to get attention. Thank you so much. Anyhow, what I'd like to do is just walk you through a simple filing. We're going to file a note for motion document, and we're going to go ahead and bench a copy of that. So we just come to kitsapefile.com with any device, and we click the orange button that says File Now. And you'll see now that we're going to file a note for motion calendar. We're using a customer-provided filing note because I already filled mine out in advance. That's how I like to do it. If you want to save even more time, you can use our other form and create that filing note on the fly as you file. We'll look at that some other time and concentrate on the simple case of filing this already prepared motion for docket. So we'll just put in some stuff here and put your details here, which is signed by a lawyer for your contact information. Attach your file attachments, which in this case, I have a completed note for motion docket. I'm suing my neighbors because they have a messy garage. I'm going to attach a picture of that. And I'm looking for some relief from my messy neighbors. Down here, we have a local customs dropdown. If you see here, what we want to do is give you the option to tell us exactly what you want. Some things are just the clerk, some things are just the bench, some things are both. We understand that local practice, and we give you the option to choose here. And then the e-receipt will send you an email confirmation, a text confirmation, or both if you want. Just give us that information. The default is email. If you prefer text, this switches over to a phone number box. Just put in where you want us to let you know and hit submit, and it will upload all your details to our secure form processor, which is a company called Wufoo. It's a well-respected cloud services company that is a division of a company you may have heard of called SurveyMonkey, which has a long history of doing great user interfaces for form processing. So once I've done that, you've uploaded your documents to my system now, and I'm ready to take a look at your documents and see if they pass a quality check. So this is the first document that got created when I filled out your terrible neighbors. I want restraining order. I'm so angry. I'm going to talk to Judge Hauser on June 22nd at 1 p.m. And I've uploaded this document to the system, or I could create it on the fly, as I mentioned a moment ago. But in fact, this document, some more things have to happen to it. It needs to get transformed in a couple of ways before it can be filed. So now I've got the naked paper. I did my visual QA. All the boxes are checked. It looks good to me. What I'm going to do is run this through my machine. And if I choose to do so, I can place a clerk stamp on it. So what I could do is, if the clerk would prefer and like to have an even more touch-free experience when we present our documents, we could give them pre-stamped with the clerk stamp, as you see here. If the clerk, by her discretion alone, prefers that we stamp them with the rubber stamp, we are happy to follow her direction in this regard. While that we've left the papers with the clerk, the Kitsap EFile agent will scan a little barcode with his or her phone, and it'll update the cloud and let the customer know that we've dropped off the documents at the clerk's office, which will give them the peace of mind to know that the round trip has been complete. But in this case, we also need to leave a bench copy. And so the machine will also crank out another copy that looks like this. So all of this is done by our system. Including the red Sharpie across the top, the bench copy stamp, all the fill-ins, and the aforementioned Kitsap County clerk stamp. That we would just, after we finish our trip to the clerk's counter, we will walk down the hall, put these in the chunk machine, and leave them in the bench copy basket. Thereby scanning the barcodes for those copies too, which would then let the customers know that their bench copy has been benched. So if you're a customer, your experience is that you get a notification that your documents are ready to go. You get a notification that your documents are on the way to the clerk, that they've been filed with the clerk, and that they've been benched. And when that is over, we take photos of the conformed pages, such as they are, in cases where that takes place on site, and we send them to the customer, and they get a nice e-receipt that gives them the date and time of filing and copies of the conformed pages that they can save for their records or feel really good that everything got done in the right way. Go back and take a look at it later, you know, share it with a customer or the other party, whatever you feel is appropriate. And then you can get busy getting a restraining order against your messy neighbors. So this has potential to save you a trip down to the courthouse. And we do other things too. If you need to pay fees, we'll let you pay fees. If you need, we have a, actually, let me maybe take a look at that real quick. For example, if you need to pay filing fees, we'll allow you to do that here too. So we've taken the price list and we've turned that into a drop down here. So I need to file, I'm gonna register a foreign subpoena. We had a customer that actually did this the other day. They don't have a cause number yet. They have to file a new civil action and register their contact information. So if you do this immediately after you do an e-filing upload, I'll just pair them together. Now, how do I get the money to the clerk? I'm gonna write a company check. If you're curious about what the fee structure looks like, we have a PDF here that has the full fee structure of every single action in every category with the item, the amount that we will give to the clerk, the exact service fee in dollars and cents, and the exact total. We don't make any money from, actually to be quite precise, we make between 17 and 20 cents each for the service of writing that paper check, which might be a wash, I'm not sure. What the idea was to have the fee thing be neutral and not a revenue generator. What we'd like to do is provide a convenient way for legal professionals to do all of their work in one-stop shopping and to feel good that the people that they're doing business with can get the whole job done start to finish. So another example of that is that foreign subpoena I mentioned a moment ago. That customer also, after they had it registered, they had us go pick it up from the clerk after they conformed it and serve it on a local party in Kingston to compel testimony in a Zoom hearing coming up next week. So they were able to just pivot over here, fill out the service stuff, use that document we got from the clerk, and we took care of Highland Process Server, tracking that and giving them the status updates. So these are some examples where customers have found these features to be useful so far. I hope you'll give them a look. And if you have new ideas or for other features to make this more useful, we are happy to hear about it. It's not just about e-filing. It's about making things easy, about making simple things simple. For example, if you've ever been in a hurry trying to get to your Zoom hearing, you can't get your email open for some reason, we have a page with all the Zoom links. If you have a meeting for residential DOSA, you can just click right here and join your Zoom meeting, or get the code and type it in. Just little things that we will do to make Kitsap e-filing a sort of a one-stop shop for people who want to save time, save aggravation, and just focus on lawyering and spend less time pushing paper. And voila.